cleaning steps, let's look at how to field strip the rifle. Now, you're going to need a sturdy pointed object for 2 steps in that process. For that, I've got this small Allen key. To start, we'll press this rear takedown pin out, then pivot the upper receiver forward on this front takedown or pivot pin. Release the charge handle, take out the bolt carrier assembly, and the charge handle itself. Now the front takedown or pivot pin slides to the side, and your upper and lower are separated. Remove the buffer and buffer spring by depressing this catch and sliding them out. Now the bolt carrier assembly. First, this firing pin retainer is going to come out, and then the firing pin itself. This releases the bolt cam, so you just turn it 90 degrees, slip it right out. Now you can take the bolt out. To remove this extractor, just press out this pivot pin here. Now to start the cleaning process, I've got this stainless steel bowl here with some solvent in it. And in that I want to soak all the small parts from the bolt and the carrier assembly. And I like to use a cleaning vise like this one. Now I've got it set up to hold the upper receiver open. Once I get this takedown pin back in place, it just lays in there like that. First, a quick wipe of the buffer and buffer spring, the little oil on the shop rag. We'll get that back in place. Now it's time to address the barrel. And I've got this AR-15 specific cleaning kit from Gunslick. And what I'm going after in here is this specialized chamber brush that'll clean the chamber and the locking lugs. Now I'm going to use just the back half of the T-handle cleaning rod. I'm going to get that threaded up. I'll just dip it in a little of the solvent. Now we'll just get this in there, into the chamber. And this all that really does is clean the chamber and the barrel lugs. Well, I've got this 22 caliber wire brush. Get a little solvent on that. We'll take that down the bore. Now you want to remember to remove the brush before you take your rod back through the bore so you don't drag any contaminants back through. For ARs, I like a slotted tip as opposed to a jag because they'll hold the patch in place as I pass it through the receiver and the chamber and then into the bore. Just keep running patches until they come out clean. Last, a couple of drops of Ultra Lube on a bore mop, and we'll run that down. Well, now that that's done, it's time to pay attention to the bolt and the bolt carrier assembly. Now, having soaked in this solvent all this time, all the fouling and deposits are going to be loosened, and so we can knock any more of them off with this wire brush. On the bolt carrier, we're going to want to wipe out the inside of the gas key. Q-tip works well here. All the other parts should just wipe clean after soaking that long in the solvent. We'll get them all dried off. We'll reassemble the bolt carrier. We'll get the extractor back in place. Just slip it right into its pocket like that. A little dab of oil in the pinhole here. We want a couple of drops of oil at the back of the bolt and on the gas rings. And we want to pay attention to these gaps and make sure they're staggered at least 60 degrees each. Insert the bolt into the carrier. Make sure your extractor is at the 11 o'clock position. A little oil on your pin. Now the lightly oiled firing pin goes back in. The firing pin retainer. We've got a couple of drops of oil on the charge handle, so we'll just get that back into its notch. And then we'll drop the bolt carrier into place. Now I've got some lube points on the lower here at the hammer pivot spring and the sear pivot, as well as the safety lever and the bolt catch. On the outside of the rifle, I'm just going to want to drop here on the rear takedown pin, a little on the pivot pin for the dust cover, a little bit on the forward assist. Get it together. Function check. Good. I'm going to use a rag, wipe off any of the excess. Then I'm going to want to actuate the action several times to help distribute the oil. That's all there is to it.